Hello and welcome. My name's Angie Holden and I'm the blogger behind The Country Chic Cottage. Now, a couple months back I filmed an entire video about how I film YouTube videos. So the video you're watching right now, I filmed a whole process for that. And I also filmed a separate video all about the editing process for long videos. However, short videos are way easier for me to film, way easier for me to edit, way quicker for me to make. If I am just making a video for like Instagram or YouTube Shorts, I will film them in a completely different way. Now I can take the long videos that I make for you and edit those into shorter videos, but sometimes I just make a project only for an Instagram reel, just a super quick project, a super quick short video for some promotion, that type of thing. So let's talk about how I do that. So I have gathered my supplies for a video. So I want to show putting a DTF print onto a wood door hanger. And so I have all of my supplies gathered. What I'm going to use to film this, you can watch the entire process, because if I'm just making a short video, I use my phone to film, edit, post the entire thing. This is a very quick process. So the first thing you're going to need is something to hold your phone. So what I use is a stand from Archon. I will link to this below. I think they still sell the same version. I have had this for many years. It is pretty pricey. You can get way cheaper phone stands. However, a phone stand that is cheap typically does not last me very long. So it does not last long. It starts to fall. It gets very annoying. This has been seriously a powerhouse. I've used it to film a ton of different stuff, and it's just now starting to fail after several years of use. So I have my heat press heating up. I'm gonna go ahead and start my camera up, put it on video. Make sure your lens is clean, regardless if you're using like the front or the back camera, make sure that's clean. And then I'm going to add this phone to the stand, and then I'm going to adjust it for my first shot. So for the first shot, I think I'm gonna get a shot of me. So I'm going to kind of sit down here, and I can sort of film some content. So that was the first shot, and then I will adjust to where I can see my table here. And I'm gonna go ahead and record again. And then the heat press has heated up. I'm gonna put my wood round down. Make sure the video is capturing the wood and that everything's in frame. And then I'm just going to start the pressing process here. And I will just film this entire thing. I can cut out pieces of this later if I don't want the entire thing. If it's too long, I can speed it up. But I am just gonna kind of film the entire process. This is a quick project. If it was a longer project, I might just film part of it, stop the camera, film the rest. But for this super quick door hanger, I'll just go ahead and film the entire process. And then I do need to cool this off, so I'm going to just keep filming. So I'm going to go ahead and film that cool off process as well. And then I might kind of grab an alternative method of rubbing that in, get some footage of that alternate method. If I see any areas not stuck, I'm just gonna keep going over those, but I have this camera on my phone filming the entire time. That way I'm capturing all of these little things that I'm doing, just in case I wanna use them. Now, I'm filming the audio just for you, for YouTube. I'm not filming any audio on my phone because I will do a voiceover. Most of the time I do a voiceover for short video. I might occasionally film, you know, a shot of me talking, but it is not that often. So now I'm gonna try to peel this back. Again, I'm just keeping the camera rolling, making sure I'm filming everything. And then I'll do the last part of the process, just with that camera rolling. Okay, and then we'll just film me lifting this off. And like, I'm good with this. It looks really good to me. So I might just sort of move it a little bit, and then I'm gonna get the final shots. So for the final shots, I'm gonna stop the camera And I'm gonna readjust again to my face. And I'm gonna film final shot. And you'll notice I did that several times just so I can pick the best one. So now I've made the project, I have all of the footage on my phone. So I am going to edit this footage. So I'm gonna put up over here as I walk through the editing process, but I did wanna note that I use Adobe Premiere Rush for my editing, and you can use whatever you want here. Instagram has a free edits program. There's tons of there's probably an editing program on your phone for video. If you want to use that one, by all means, just go ahead and use that one. I like Adobe Rush because I can use more features, speeding it up more, different things like that. But the free editing software is getting much more robust. When I first started, of course, it wasn't as robust as it is today. So I will say that use whatever editing program that you have on your phone first, something free, and then just go from there. If you want a more complicated editing software, you can always upgrade later. So I'm just going to edit everything here, and I'll just run through rapid fire editing over here on the side. So all I'm doing is picking my clips, splitting them, deleting any footage that I don't need, and I will go ahead and speed up some of that footage. So some of the footage is just going to be too slow. I like to keep my shorts or reels like 60 seconds or less, regardless of the time. You know, they're increasing, I feel like, all the time, the amount of time a short video can be on these various platforms, but I still like to keep it very, very short just to grab the attention span of people. So I go ahead and edit mine down to where it is very short. And I also want to mention that I edit out any like boring parts. So obviously when you're just holding the heat press on the wood round, it's pretty boring, right? So I go ahead and edit all of that type of footage out and just get to where I have like the action footage in. I just feel like it grabs the attention more if just like the action parts are in the footage. So I delete out a ton of the footage I filmed, but I find it easier just to leave the camera running and have all of that in the footage just in case I need it, because there could be a situation where I would need it and I might use it later on. So I can definitely use that footage later on of me using a DTF cooling block. And I could use a longer form of that to talk about DTF cooling blocks, for instance. So I may, use that at a later time for a different short video. Now I do want to note that all of these are backwards because I did use my front camera. So I always flip mine. Not everyone does that, but I go ahead and run through and flip all of the footage so that the person does get an accurate representation of what it is, especially in this case where it is something with lettering. I just want to make sure that you can read everything within the video. And then I'll just kind of watch it and see where it gets boring and just speed up that footage. So it's, a little boring. I need to speed it up. Definitely need to speed up this one. And just kind of watch and say, okay, does that look good? And if it does, can I say what I need to say during this footage? So I'll just kind of watch it through and be like, okay, is it too fast or fast enough? And then kind of decide from there what I need to do. So I will use various speeds for each clip, because I want to say more about certain clips and less about others, I guess, would be what I would want to do. So I kind of know from experience how long it's going to take me to talk over each of these pieces. But if you don't, you can always, as you are voicing it over, you can say, okay, this is not working. And you can sort of go back and say, okay, I need to readjust the time. And of course you can readjust the speed of each of these clips and say, okay, I want it to take longer, I need it shorter, that type of thing. So I have everything like I really like it. And it is only 21 seconds. So now the question is, is that okay? So I might watch it through just one more time and be like, okay, is it going to make sense? And I do feel like it's going to make sense. It is a quick project. So I think I'm going to run with a very short reel in this case. Like I said, I like to keep it 60 seconds or less. This one turned out super short, but it is a quick project. And it's just sort of proving that you can use DTF on wood. And I think it does the job. So what I'll do is I will go ahead and film a voiceover. Now I'm going to leave this part in, but sometimes it takes me several different tries to film a voiceover. We'll see how many it takes me today. And see? Sometimes I just have to start over several times. Let's start a new series, Will It DTF, and I'm starting with a wood sign. So I'm adding this DTF print to a wood sign. I added the DTF print, then heated it up. I'm just using my Easy Press, so I had to heat it up several different times. And as I'm talking, this is a bit short, right? So I'm gonna delete off the words and I'm gonna go back in and we are going to readjust the speed in some of these cases. So I'm gonna make these 600 instead of 800. And we're gonna lengthen out the amount of time it's taking me to press this because I feel like I need more time to say all these words. So now I'm gonna start again with the voiceover. Let's start a new series called Will It DTF. Trying again. Let's start a new series called Will It DTF, and our first trial. As you will notice, I don't use any type of teleprompter. You can get apps for your phone that will show you and you can write out what you want to say. I just wing it. Always have. I'm just going to keep winging it. Will It DTF? Let's see if you can add DTF to this wood round. So I printed a DTF. I don't think I want to say that. So we're going to start one more time. Will It DTF? Let's see if you can put DTF on this wood round. So I'm adding my DTF print with my Cricut Easy Press, pressing 4 different times because the print is large and the Easy Press is small. Then I use a DTF cooling block to cool that down, or you can use something like a microfiber cloth. I went ahead and peeled back the carrier sheet, added some protective. And so that time I got almost all the way through and I messed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the beginning of my voiceover and I'm going to listen to it and see, and I can film just the end portion. So I'm just going to listen to it on my phone. And this way I can also edit out any time where I sort of paused. I said, or something like that. I can go ahead and edit those out. Okay, so I'm just going to split that there. I went ahead and peeled back the carrier sheet, added some protective paper and pressed one more time. And yes, wood rounds will I'm gonna try that one more time. I went ahead and peeled back the carrier sheet, added some protective paper and pressed it one more time. So will it DTF? Yes, you can add DTF to wood. So I'm very happy with that, I think. I'm going to run through and just sort of make sure this ending sounds good. Okay, and then I just cut off any excess at the end. And then I'm going to export this video. And now it is ready to post on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, all of the above. So I do hope that you enjoyed seeing how I make and edit short videos, and hopefully by the time this video goes up on YouTube, I will have had time to post this on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, all of the above. So I will link to the finished video of me adding DTF to this wood round in the description below this video so you can check out the final result of this process. So hopefully this helps remove some of the intimidation of filming and editing short video. Seriously, these are so quick for me to make. I probably should make more, but I'm more invested in making the long form videos, which take me way longer. But the short form videos, I can do several of these. If I have all my supplies together, I can just knock them out one right after another. So you can almost plan a content filming day for short videos like this, where you make a ton of them for your small business, to promote your small business, or to share things that you're creating, behind the scenes looks, and so much more. So don't be intimidated by short video. It's easy to do, and it can have a huge reach on tons of different social media platforms. And yes, I do use the same short form video on all the social media platforms. So be sure, like if you're making short videos, be sure to get your money's worth. So they can go on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. I put them on YouTube Shorts. There are also other social media platforms out there that you can put short form video on as well. So be sure to get the full use out of any content that you create. So now, if you have any questions about anything I covered, drop down in the comment section, ask away. If you like this video and it helped you, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, head on over to my YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. I have videos just like this one every single week. I do have business videos once a month. And like I said, I do have full videos on the way I do long form content as well. So be sure to check those out. Until next time, stay tuned for another creative, crafty video right here on YouTube. Thanks y'all. Bye-bye.